Hello friends, today we are going to do image transfer and we're going to try both magazine and laser printer. And I have a super old gel plate and I could probably turn it over. Nope, dirty on that side too. So first we're going to try a relatively easy one, which is the magazine magazine transfer. And this is from a Vogue. And what you want to do, I might not even have enough black paint, but we'll put more on if we need it, is you just want a tiny bit of paint, and then you want to do this fast enough that the paint itself doesn't dry. So we're going to put this on. Can't move it. And we're going to wait 12 seconds. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see what happened. And what should happen is, it's hard to tell what happened because my plate's dirty. But what should happen is that the black from the magazine should transfer to the gel plate. Only the black. So we're going to let this dry for a minute. And this has to be dry. So we can't mess around with this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to clean the plate. So it's just a try. If it doesn't work, it's no big deal. I think I see a horse up in here. So I do think we got something. And I am going to do this with white as the color. And I seen a guy suggest using tracing paper, which I have. Yes. So I'm going to try tracing paper for this one. It is not dry. So let's get another plate out and we'll put that one over to the side. And let's try the, well, like this I have to clean. Like that's really dirty. So let's go ahead and clean this off. Let's use, what goes good with pink red? Oh, teal. I love teal. Okay, so we're going to put teal on here. And we're going to clean the plate off by putting a piece of paper on there and letting it sit for a fair bit. So what happens is the paint, the teal paint we're putting on, will meld with the paint that's under there on the gel plate. And then the paper, it's not rolling very well, is it? And then the paper will adhere to all of it and pick it up. So here is just a piece of paper. Let's go ahead and let this set on there. And then let's look at our last gel plate. How is it? Oh, it's kind of grubby too. All right, we'll clean that one too while we're here. Oh, let's try with the tracing paper to see how that goes. I want to see how translucent it is. Let's see. I don't mind teal. I could use red. I could use green. Let's use green. Sage green. And for this, you definitely want to make sure your paint is paint, that it hasn't separated out. You know how you get those weird watery bits. Okay, so there's that. And this, we need to rub off somewhere. So we're going to rub this on the back of this. Just clean off that brayer a little bit. Okay, and let's put our tracing paper on. There. Ooh, that's nice. You can see where it's stuck down and make sure you get every little bit. I love that. I use a lot of tissue paper, and I don't mind a wrinkle in mine. If you want yours to be totally flat, make sure you just put it on totally flat. And we're going to let this one sit and come back to our horse and see if we feel like it's set. Okay, I feel like that's set. Nope, that's not dry. And I don't want to heat tool dry this gel plate. That's the last thing I want to do. That is not good for your gel plate. It's not good for your paint. I don't think it's good for the environment. So I'm going to take a little break and I will be back. Okay, you can tell this is still wet-ish because it's cool to the touch as opposed to being neutral like paper is. But let's see what happens if we start to pull it off, if we're kind of cleaning that plate. Okay, so a bunch of it is coming off. I don't necessarily want a clean plate. I like a dirty plate because then you get lots of old nibbles and stuff on it. But I didn't want it to be totally grungy and gross. Oh yeah, we're getting a fair bit and almost all of that red that was in the middle of this gel plate off. Because I don't want it to be a red background. Okay. Ooh, that's very cool and grungy. That's what you get from an old gel plate. Okay, so for this last little bit, I have, the only kind of masking tape I have is black masking tape. If I had plain masking tape, I would use it. But we should be able to get, I don't like that line, so we're going to get rid of that line. That line looks like where two of my gel plates probably hung out together. And it looks like it might be in the, it is in the gel plate. So it's going to collect more paint. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. Okay, so for this one, let's go and try the toner paper. I love this. I hope that works. Okay, so let's put some black on here. Not tons, a little bit. Just enough to cover that plate. And you kind of want to be able to see through the gel plate to the bottom. That's how little paint you want to put on here. Okay. Let's cut this so I know where it is. 1, 2, 11, 12. Nothing. That did not come off at all. Kind of love that. I'm going to keep that for my collage thing. But that did not do what I wanted it to do. All right, let's clean this off. That leads me to believe that none of these might work. Oh, I have one more of those. Okay, so we're going to do something different besides image transfer. Let's go ahead and do a little stenciling. So I'm just going to get a little bit of green paint. And I think I want it to go this way. Need a little bit more than that. And if you're thinking this is not an efficient way to get paint on this gel plate, you're right. I don't want much paint on this gel plate. I just want a hint of background. All right, let's do some rose. Sure, let's do some rose. This is going to give us more. And I was just thinking the other day, wondering why I do so much better doing stencils on the gel plate than I do in real life. And it's because the stencils adhere to the bottom of the gel plate, and so they're not moving around. So you get nice, real crisp lines. So the gel plate is keeping that stencil stuck on there. All right, so for this one, let's go ahead and just lightly take up that extra paint, because I don't want a lot of paint. I just want a wee bit of paint. Oh, too much over there. Okay, that's looking good. Do we want a skosh more going on? I do want more going on. Teal, teal. And I love this stencil. This is one of my favorite stencils. It's very grungy and old. Okay. That is going to be enough, I feel like. And so, just so you know, this is the kind of thing that you want to do if, like, my toner, whatever my toner is, didn't work at all with the gel plate. Just didn't. So if I were to keep trying that over and over and over again, it would just keep not working, right? Like that's a teeny bit of a foregone conclusion. There's a gal I was watching on here that did, she would run it through the toner twice. That seemed to work for her. But because I got nothing, like there wasn't even a hint of something on there, that leads me to believe it just won't work on my gel plates with my printer. So now we have to find something else that we can do that will make me as happy as that. And see, I love this dark one, and I can almost use those as a shadow, right? I love that. And now let's figure out which color I want to use. I think I'm going to use a different teal. I have a really light teal that I'm going to use here. And I am going to put the thinnest layer. Oops. A little bit of grunge there. So there's a super thin layer. Let's pull off more. And let's, I got stuff on me. Let's just swoop, little swoop. And now we're going to do this one. And I'm just kind of working in colors I like. I like teal, I like green, I like red. So all of my things are going to go together. They're sort of like offshoots of the primary. But they're colors that I like to work with. Ooh, look at that. That is kind of fun. Now, I do feel like we didn't get much, the paint must have dried. So now let's go ahead and take this. We need the paint to be wet. See, the paint's not wet. The paint's drying almost immediately. We need a titch more paint than what we had. And yet, I still want it to be super, super, super thin, so I can still see my lady heads through it. Okay, that feels wetter. Oh, and I didn't even tell you what this is for. This is for my my backgrounds I've been making with tissue paper. I want to have some fun feature images to put on there. And this time I'm going to let this sit and soak in. Let's go back to this one with tracing paper and see how we like it. I've never used tracing paper for gel plate. It feels like it's holding up pretty well. Ooh, I love that. That is great. Okay. So now, let's see. What do we have? Oh, will this little guy fit on there? Let's cut her out right to where she's going to be. And I have my gel plates on acrylics. My husband cut me acrylic pieces to put them on. And the benefit of that is that you can pull it up and look through and see if your, see how your background is going to be. Okay. Let's see. I feel like this will fit, right? Oh, yeah. Don't forget, I can't reposition. So we're going to put it right like that. Okay. So let's put some stuff on this background. I like that sage green. This one feels a little bit more organic. I don't know if I have any organic. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, I love this one. I love this one. I seen Harlequin. You know me. There's a Harlequin around. I love this one. And I love Harlequin. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some color behind here. I feel like I want a bunch of, and this is an old stencil that has a hole in it. Okay. I'm going to go up and down. I don't like diagonals, so I'll show you what I mean in a second. That's a little off kilter, but mostly it's up and down. Okay, I have another color of sage that I'm going to put on here. Oh, see, that's what I was talking about. If your paint looks like that, it will, oh, I got toilet paper rolls here. I got some extra toilet paper. It will not work at all on a gel plate because that liquid is not, I don't know what part of acrylic is. I don't know that much about acrylics, but that is not going to work. So I'm going to put some Harlequins on here. Do I want Harlequins on this one? What other? I thought I pulled out. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's do this and get some of that lighter. And I want to go off the edge because I don't want everything just stuck right in the middle. I like that. So here's why I like doing on the acrylics, because now I can look through and see, like, if there was some place that was blatantly empty, if there's, I don't mind if this stuff gets over her face, but if you wanted to leave an open area for her face, anything like that. So now we have to let this one dry. Let's go back to our, while we're sitting here waiting, let's go back to our horse. And let's clean up at least the fresh paint here. All right, so our horse is dry. The way I can tell that our horse is dry, and I don't know which side is up anymore, is this was shiny, and it's not shiny anymore. So somewhere around here, I had pulled out a piece. Oh, I guess I'll pull out another piece of tracing paper. Probably don't do this over your image. I mean, come on, me. Okay, let's think about if we have a horse, what color background we want. Do we want to do a lot of sage? Oh, what are our... Gold. Gold might not be a great pull material. I could do teal. I could do pink. Pink and red. Ooh, this one. Yeah, I'm focusing on this one. So let's do sage and sage. What is happening? We'll do those two same colors of sage. Boop. And what has happened now is the toner from the magazine is stuck on this plate. The black from the magazine is stuck on this plate, and we're going to be able to use this wet paint to pull it up. One of those two paints is very stinky. Okay. And you can't take forever to do this. You just can't. You have to kind of keep moving. And we're gonna, and this is gonna be an opaque black layer, back layer, because I didn't make it super thin like I've been doing on the ones that we want to see all the way through. And now we should be able to see if we got a horse. Do you see a horse? I don't know if I see a horse. But I'm loving, so this is, for me, a happy accident. I'm loving doing the, so we're going to give this a bit to dry. And suck up that paint. And we're going to go back to this one that should be dry now. And our lady, yeah, she'll fit right in there. And I want a different color of teal. I have a different teal. And we're going to put this lady down. Oh, I want her to be thin. Crap. But I want to get the underneath stuff too, which means I have to give it a second. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty cool. I like it. I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. I had a plan for my life and what I was going to do today, and it fell apart because my toner won't work, but I have other stuff I want to do. And now I'm going to use this little gel plate and the big gel plate to make light layers on these printouts. Okay, so I want something going on. The poor back of this paper. I want something going on around the edge, like circles. I'm going to use red, real red. I think this toffee apple red from Paper Artsy is a very, that's translucent. Interesting. Interesting. So I do have different translucent paints in this room. Should we think about that as far as adding, as that being the final layer? Let me see. Hold on. Okay, so I have silver, which is half 800, I think, out of 1,000, but see how there's a little mark there? I have red, which is, you can see the lines through it, so it's not opaque. I have cadmium yellow. I have bronze that is not full coverage. I know this is crazy pants. I have fluorescent pink that's not full coverage. So maybe we do a couple fluorescent ones. I also have fluorescent orange. So those might be fun to do together. But for this one, do we think it's dry? We do not think it's dry. Look at that right there. You can see. And up here you can see. Kind of wish. This is turning into a pretty cool background, but we're going to do something with the front of her. So we need to give this plate a second. This is why I like having a bunch of different plates, because then I don't get bored. Okay, what's this? Is this the people? The 3 people? Okay. Huh, isn't that interesting? I feel like we get more of a view of them through the black, but I don't hate this at all by any stretch of the imagination. I like it. That having said, I lost the 3 people heads. Oh, look at this lady. I love this lady. Let's see if she'll fit on this plate. And I know you all get wicked mad about AI, but I used AI for the images for these. And I do think we're going to do some, these haven't been used in a while. We need to shake the crap out of them. I don't know if these little top doogies are, oh, there we go. We're going to do this. And put a little harlequin on her edges. Oh, that's cool. Okay, where's that orange? Did I open it? When you buy good paint, it works forever. All right, here's this. Okay, we're going to emboss her. Okay. Is there a horse back there? I don't think I'm going to do any more image transfers today. I'm kind of into, oh, it's starting to rip. Because I'm liking being able to pick like a little witch or something like that. Okay, how's it going? Okay. I don't see a horse. You might see a horse, but what I do see is amazing background things that I can use as layers on here. So, color me not mad. Okay, this is our big one. I would love to see if I could get this witch to be cool. So I need dark purple, dark brown. I'm gonna use the sage green, and I'm gonna put some grunge on this gel plate. Yes, I kind of adore that. Okay, so now I want the opposite places. Oh my goodness. And look how we got a little bit of that orange in there. Okay, now I want to add kind of around this middle and in here. So kind of top middle, the other color. And I need something that doesn't have a which way it goes. Where's the brown? And this you don't have to hurry with, because you can leave that paper sit on as long as you want and it'll pull it off. So cool. Okay. I have one more thing I want to do. This one that's like, oh, I have two more I want to do. I lied to you twice there. I want this same color palette for this Plague Doctor. Cool. I do think I want more. I think I want some sage green. So I'm going to go opposite. Oops. I don't want it to be all covered in. We'll let that dry. This should be dry. My work area is getting smaller and smaller. Me. Entirely my fault. Oh, that I liked. I think that added a lot of interest to it as opposed to it being very one-dimensional. I adore this. I love how it goes over. I love how it gently goes over. We're going to keep that way. So let's do some pink around the outside. So where is she? She's kind of, I'm not going to cut her. How many scissors do I have on this desk? I just want an idea of how big she is. Because her, I'm going to cut out because she'll be opaque or translucent. So if we're doing it here, we're just down to about there. Let's do some pink. Pink, pink, pink. What do you think? Get it. And we're going to do a lot of pink. Oh, that's not. Okay, and this is a very old stencil, very well loved, and so I have to really force ink down into it, and that's why it smudges. Now, you may not see Harlequin coming for this, but I see Harlequin. I don't like that line, so let's get rid of it. I see Harlequin coming for anything. I love a Harlequin pattern. So we want just that to dry. The last thing I'm going to do today is the overlay of the orange. Now, if you want to know how I store my paints, these are in a giant drawer full of cheap paints. Very cheap paints. And then these guys live in a different basket that are my expensive paints, so I don't accidentally grab them and use them for something silly. Okay, here's our lady. All right, I think I want her face right here in this open spot. And I'm just trying to get some color on this white copy paper. Look how icky grungy she got. I'm going to do this other lady up here right now. See, that's what makes doing stuff on the gel plate fun, is sometimes you're going to pull up a lot of the stuff. Look at, this is all that toner that's going to be black sometime in my future. See, black streaks. There we go. That is cool. Okay, let's look and see. Where's the lid for my... I do put on my big one that was pretty expensive, its lid. The rest of them I'm not as good at. Okay, let's take a peek and see what we've got. We've got this lady with lots of grunge and kind of orange. Now, see, this to me is a nice start. We're going to do embossing on these guys. I like this. I wish it had a little bit less down here in her face, but I think once I start doing embossing, her face is going to come back out and we'll be happy with it. I love this lady. So this may be, like, see how you still have the definition of her chin and stuff? I don't know which is going to turn out to be my favorite. I was really surprised how much these guys got covered. But they are the same as, do I have them? I thought I had them again. This gal, right? So I may wind up cutting out these ones, and then I have to find the black piece. Oh, there it is. So these ones, isn't that weird? This almost powdered them, where this one you can still see them pretty well. Interesting. So maybe this is the shadow and this is the front, and then this is a piece around. I don't know. Love it. Great piece of background. Great piece of background. And that is it for today. I cannot do any more today because there's wet paint, right? These are still damp. I have wet paint all over my desk, and so we're going to have to come back another day and work on the embossing. But I love embossing, so I can't wait to see how that goes. All right, hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobson, Artsy Fartsy Life.